The little cat absorbed the life energy of humans. But it had no idea about this. Then, it wandered around until one day, it met this old lady. Only then did the cat have a new home and a name of its own, Xiaobai. The two lonely souls spent a very pleasant time together. But time flew by, and the old lady's health grew weaker and weaker. At this moment, the son from the city came back to visit her. He immediately said that it was the stray sick cat that had brought on the serious illness. The angry mother drove her son out of the house. Just as the son was about to return to the city, he heard strange stories from the neighbors. It turned out that the deaths of the elderly in recent years were very peculiar, like mummies. The man was just about to investigate when Xiaobai found him. Xiaobai warned him not to upset his mother again. The man was scared silly. Then he met some exorcists who said they could solve the problem. But as soon as they arrived, Xiaobai blocked their way. Xiaobai couldn't understand why people always wanted to break the bond between him and his grandma. However, the exorcist pointed out, why did every host you stayed with die mysteriously, and why did grandma's health get worse after you came? At this moment, looking at his own ferocious face in the pond, Xiaobai couldn't believe it and dared not admit that it was his fault. He ran into the forest in a panic. But when he came back at night, Xiaobai was gloomy and downhearted. Yet when he saw his grandma's doting look, he showed a happy smile again. Suddenly, grandma's illness flared up. So Xiaobai quickly jumped to the ground, and scenes from the past flashed through his mind. He ran into the deep mountains and forests. But at this moment, grandma came out to look for him. Then Xiaobai heard a scream. He darted into the forest at the fastest speed and fought a desperate battle with a brown bear that was about to attack grandma. He had never fought before. It was the most primitive instinct of protection in his emotions that gave him the strength to overpower the brown bear. After that, Xiaobai was injured, but he still refused to recognize his grandma. But grandma nestled in front of the huge body and talked about her longing. Xiaobai unconsciously sheltered grandma from the wind and rain. But the coughing sound made Xiaobai make up his mind to leave. When the mother fell, the son saw it and shouted at the monster to leave quickly. It turned out that he had always cared about his mother's safety all along. The son's sincere confession also made Xiaobai realize that he really had to leave. Suddenly, he transformed into his most terrible form and said that staying with the old lady would eat her up. But grandma didn't believe it and said that even if she was deceived, she was willing. He was the Xiaobai in her heart forever. But in the end, Xiaobai still cooperated with the son to perform a clumsy act and fled in a panic. If you met Xiaobai, would you adopt him?